I'm here to tell you a little bit about Shakespeare's theatre and the theatre that he staged most of his plays in during the time he was writing. That theatre was called the Globe Theatre and it was situated in London. So Shakespeare was writing around the end of the 16th century. He was born in 1564 and he died in 1616. So he lived during the period of two monarchs, Queen Elizabeth and King James I. This theatre, the Globe Theatre, was built in 1599, and although it wasn't that different from other theatres, it was the grandest and most important theatre in London at that time. It was actually built in 1599, and a lot of the materials were basically wood and thatched roof, and obviously the floor was basically dirt. If we look inside the theatre, we can actually see a couple of things that were really different from some of the other things around at that time. You had what was called an apron stage, where the stage is sticking right out into the middle of the audience. Of course, the audience isn't the same as a theatre audience now. People at the start of the stage were called the groundlings. They were the poorest people. They would probably pay the equivalent of what's now 1 penny to get in and throw lots of things at the actors and shout at them. As you went higher up the theatre, to the second level and the third level, people paid more to sit in those seats because you could see them, so the royalty would have sat at the very top where they would be seen. Other things that were important in this theatre was the fact that you had two pillars, and in most of Shakespeare's plays there's a period where someone gets hidden, or something gets found, or someone is concealed from someone else. For example, in Romeo and Juliet, or in Hamlet when Hamlet stabs Polonius behind the curtain. Those are the only things on stage, with the exception of a trapdoor, which was used in most of Shakespeare's plays. The other things that were important in this theatre, of course, was the fact that it was open air. So all the plays were staged in the daytime, which is why in most Shakespeare plays you'll get a period of time when it says, "'tis night," or "it was on a heath." That's because it was always in the daytime and there was no scenery. So that the actors and the playwright had to set the scene. And that's why the Globe Theatre, although it's been rebuilt now, is still a completely different theatre experience for most people.